Welcome to the Stroger Hospital and Cook County Health and Hospital Systems Training Module number 15, Exam Room and Environmental Cleaning and Disinfection. We are glad to have you as our guest in this important training, so let's get started.
Exam rooms are various areas where doctors, nurses, and other medical staff perform examinations, administer treatments, or even perform minor outpatient surgeries for patients of Stroger Hospital. As such, exam rooms require all of the same cleaning and disinfection that we provide for other patient care areas of the hospital. Our goal is thorough cleaning and disinfection to help prevent the transmission of dangerous microorganisms from patient to patient or patient to staff.
A summary of the training topics we will be covering in this module include the following. Number 1. Preparing yourself before you begin your work by hand washing and putting on the appropriate PPE. 2. Performing a pre-inspection of the exam room and planning your work for the greatest efficiency of your work and performance. 3. Emptying waste receptacles. 4. Gathering and collecting soiled linens. 5. Cleaning and sanitizing all surfaces in the exam room. 6. Dust mopping the floor. 7. Replenishing supplies such as hand towels and hand sanitizer. 8. Final inspection of the exam room. And 9. Damp mopping the floor as you exit the exam room.
Always begin by preparing yourself. Start with hand washing and putting on the proper personal protective equipment, or what we call PPE. As you should know from the other Stroger training modules, hand washing and hand hygiene is the most important step we can take in infection control, so don't skimp on these important steps. If you need a refresher on proper hand washing, review Stroger training module number 3, hand washing and hand hygiene. Once your hands have been properly washed, put on fresh, clean gloves. Before entering the exam room, check to see if there are any precaution signs posted outside of the room, calling for additional PPE. If none are posted, with your hands clean and fresh gloves on, you are ready to begin work. Enter the exam room and perform a pre-inspection with an eye toward planning your work for maximum efficiency. Look around. Observe any items that need special cleaning attention and plan accordingly. Be alert for any safety hazards, such as sharps or blood spills. Make a note of any repair and maintenance items, so that you can report them later to the Stroger Buildings and Grounds Department for a work order request. If you see any personal items left behind by patients, gather them and turn them into the nurse's station so they can be returned to their rightful owners.
Your next step should be to empty the waste containers. Always follow good common sense and safe work practices when pulling trash. If you are unfamiliar with these safe work practices, review Stroger Training Module number 2 for the instruction on safe trash handling. A summary of these safe trash handling procedures includes: keep the biohazard trash in red bags separate from the regular trash. Never push down on the trash to compress it. When you pull the trash, grasp the liner by the top edges and pull straight up. Do not wrap your arms around the trash bag, and do not try to give support to the trash bag from the bottom. Do not let the trash bag bump up against your legs or any other part of your body. When you hold it away from your body. Once you've pulled the trash out of the receptacle, wipe the receptacle down inside and out to remove any spills, drips, marks, or smudges. Look carefully at the wall adjacent to the trash receptacle and see if there are any drips or marks there. Clean them also. To finish, put a new clean liner into the trash receptacle. Repeat this process for every trash receptacle in the room.
Depending upon the type of exam room you are cleaning, there may be dirty linens that you need to collect and place into the blue bag receptacle for laundering. These may include small bed sheets or chair coverings. Used, soiled exam room towels may also need gathering. Always be careful to see if sharps, needles, or syringes have been inadvertently left in the folds of the linens. Even after carefully looking for hidden sharps, you should still be careful by minimizing the extent to which you grasp, squeeze, or compress the bundle of linens. When you pick up dirty linens, hold them in your fingertips, by the edges or corners, and don't ever shake the linens. Carry them to the blue bag liner and place them inside for laundering.
Your next step is to clean and disinfect all surfaces in the exam room. Look around the room and plan your work so that you focus your most intensive cleaning efforts on what we call the high hand touch surfaces. This does not mean that you do not clean all other surfaces. All vertical and horizontal surfaces must be cleaned well using neutral disinfectant cleaner and allowing for the proper wet dwell time. Because of our knowledge of infection control, we recognize that most transmissions of dangerous microorganisms come from surfaces that have been in contact with human hands. Each of these surfaces have been previously touched by human hands, and so when the exam room is used again, we want these surfaces to be clean and sanitary. Examples of high hand touch surfaces include doorknobs, light switches, chair and bed rails, and tables and trays.
Now that you have completed the cleaning and disinfection of all surfaces in the exam room, it is time to dust mop the floor. Always make sure you dust mop before damp mopping. This excludes instances of obvious blood spill in the exam room. If you encounter a blood spill, use the product Super Sorbol in accordance with the product instructions and follow Stroger Hospital's safe procedure for cleaning up bloodborne pathogens. For a review of this procedure, please go over Stroger Training Module number 24, Bloodborne Pathogen Cleaning. When dust mopping, make sure you work clockwise around the room and use an S stroke as you move the mop forward, keeping the leading edge of the mop always moving forward because the dust and debris you are cleaning will gather on this front edge. Be sure to dust mop the corners and edge as well, because this is where debris and dust tend to gather. Be sure to move any furniture and dust mop underneath. Also, be careful not to lift or shake the dust mop during or after use, because this will cause dangerous dust, allergens, and microorganisms to become airborne in the room you have just cleaned.
In between dust mopping and damp mopping, take a moment to inspect your work in the exam room. This is the time to inspect curtains and look for stains or portions of the curtain that may need repair. Be sure to check the sharps container for removal and replacement. Also, check soap and hand sanitizers to make sure that they are properly refilled. If there are hand towels or roll towel dispensers, be sure to check them and refill as necessary. It is also important that you check door hardware and metal kick plates to make sure that they have been properly cleaned. Note any items in the exam room needing repair for later reporting to the Stroger Buildings and Grounds Department. Finally, make sure you have not left any of your tools or supplies behind. Gather any such items and return them to your cart.
Prepare to damp mop the floor by placing the wet floor sign near the entrance of the door. Begin damp mopping the floor in the farthest corners from the entrance, then working around the room using an S stroke. Pay special attention to corners and baseboards, because if left unattended, serious buildup can develop in these areas. For heavy buildup, use a hand tool to scrub the corners, edges, or baseboards. Make sure to move any furniture and mop underneath. Also, be sure to mop behind the doors.
When you have finished, be sure to remove and discard your gloves and then perform your hand hygiene routine. Thank you for your participation in Stroger Hospital's Training Module number 15, Environmental Cleaning and Disinfection of Exam Rooms. We hope you have found this training to be useful and informative for you and your work as an environmental services cleaning technician. If you have any questions, please refer them to your supervisor.